Hope you guys can see me okay. Hello, my name is Alex, and today, well, in case you can't tell, I'm in a new place. I'm finally in my house, in my room, for university. For the next year at least, possibly for the next 2 years. You know how it goes. Sorry if I'm talking a little quietly. I don't know how much sound travels in this place, and I don't really need people to overhear me doing this, but you know, that's what it is. As you can see, I'm having a little trouble with my books, because this is supposed to be all of my books I haven't read, but they're kind of just shoved in. And then these are all the books that I have read, but they're just pushed against a wall. They're not really, like, anywhere. So, some of my flatmates today went to IKEA, and I asked them to buy me a bookshelf. It's a small one. Honestly, probably should have gotten a bigger one. And I'm gonna build it today. And I think I'm gonna do a book tag. I need to check. I've been tagged in a couple of book tags recently, and I feel bad for not having done them. So I wanted to do them, except now I don't remember which ones I've actually been tagged in. Give me a sec. Where's the one that I wanted to do? It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm struggling. I'm really sorry about this. I didn't mean to be struggling so much. Wow, this is riveting content. I'm sure you guys are so excited about this. Aha! Found it. We're good. Should have done this beforehand, but you know what? It's fine. I also need to plug in my phone. I need to get this out. I need to change the angle a little bit. I'm sorry that you can see my never-closing drawer, aka the most annoying thing in my room. I don't know how else to do this. So that's what you get. Now I figure out how to open this. In case you can't tell, I am struggling today. Yes. That is the theme for today. Fuck. There's probably an easier way to do this. Aha! I have done it. Finally, Jesus Christ. Okay, the first question of this tag, this is the 20 questions book tag, by the way. First question is, how many books is too many books in a series? I honestly don't know. I mean, I think for me it depends on the series. For example, I used to love the Throne of Glass series. I'm sure, like, if I reread it, I would probably still like it enough. But it was, like, an amazing series to me. And that series is 7 books, but that didn't feel like too much until I was going to reread them before the 7th book came out. That's when it was like, oh god, this is a lot of books. But I feel like the fact that the Keeper of the Lost Cities series has like 9 projected books now, or like was a 9-book deal or something, like that feels like a lot. But then again, that could just be because I haven't been keeping up with the series, so I'm kind of afraid to try and, you know, read it now. So I think that for me, it depends on the series. So for example, if the series has already been released and like everything is out and it's like a 10-book series, that is very intimidating to me. But if it's a new series that's gonna have 10 books, that feels fine because I can read them as they come out. I don't feel like I have to try to read them all in one sitting because they're not, like, they won't come out all in one sitting, so that's just how that would work. But I also might forget stuff if it was a 10-book series. I don't know. I'm now confusing myself, so, you know. I'd say that too much is probably around, like, ooh, fancy. I'd say that for me, too much is probably, like, that works, 7 or 8 books. That seems like a lot for a series to me. The next question is, how do you feel about cliffhangers? Okay, yeah, warning, whatever. Sorry. Giving you a cliffhanger by trying to figure out how this is going to work. Okay, I don't need these ones yet, so I'm just gonna like tuck them away, sort of. As a writer, I like the cliffhangers. I really enjoy seeing like what the author decides to, how the author decides to leave the people in suspense. And I really enjoy, as like I said, as an author, watching people suffer. I know I'm not an author, I shouldn't say as a writer, but as a reader, it hurts. And like, I get why people do it. Like, it keeps people hooked. Is this the right board? This is not the right board. It really keeps people hooked, and I think that that's a really important thing when it comes to a series. I don't know what parts I'm doing. I'm looking for the one, oh, there. Okay, so yeah, in that aspect, I think that cliffhangers are actually pretty cool. but they also are sad, because, especially like for those of you who read Mark Vecina, that was a time, right? So stuff like that, it's like, no, why are you cliffhangering us? Okay, what the heck? Oh, okay, I need this one. And this one. Got it. So yeah, once again, that was a very confusing, convoluted, and annoying answer probably, but you know. Okay, question number 3, this is going to be an easy one. Hardback or paperback? Hardback, all the way. Hardbacks, you don't have to crack the spine. That always makes me sad when you have to crack a spine. So, you know, no cracking the spine, that's an excellent, that's already a plus for me. That's a major, major plus. And I like what publishers will do with hardbacks, like, you know, put an imprint on it, have a reversible dust jacket, stuff like that. So I love how, not authors, sorry, publishing houses will do that for books as well. Yeah, wooden dowels, okay.
2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11.
Question 4. Favorite book? That's a very difficult question. I'm not really sure how to answer that. I feel like I had to, like, talk about this today with someone. They asked me what my favorite book was, and I was like, I listed like 7, so, you know, there's that. I think that currently, when I'm thinking about it, it's The House in the Cerulean Sea, because I can't remember loving a book recently as much as I loved that one, like, especially as much as I was surprised by that one. I think that some books that I've read recently, like, they were really good, like, you know, Loveless, Felix Ever After, but, like, those were so hyped for me that, like, I didn't love it an exponential amount the way that I did with House in the Cerulean Sea, because that one wasn't hyped for me at all. It was just like, oh, here's a good-looking book, maybe you should read it. Well, I read it for a book club, but you know. And then it turned out to be, like, such an amazing book. And I think similar to that was I Wish You All the Best, but as I've talked about before, I Wish You All the Best is, like, just an important book to me in general, so I don't think that one really counts. Because, like, yeah, is it an amazing book? Obviously. But it's also, like, just really important to me in that it exists, I guess. So yeah. Ooh, number 5. Least favorite book. Recently, my least favorite book is Paper Towns by John Green. I talked about that one in my June wrap-up, and I disliked everything about it. I disliked the writing, I disliked the plot, I disliked the characters, like, is there anything else that you can like about a book? Not really. So, you know, really disliked that one. All time, I don't think I can say that that's my least favorite book of all time, because I don't know, I don't tend to read books that I dislike for multiple reasons. So, I'd like to think that's the only book that I've disliked in, like, the past year-ish, but I'm sure that's wrong, I just can't remember the other books right now. Question number 6, love triangles. Another hard question. I think that when they're done right, they can be really interesting, but it's so hard to do them right that I have to kind of say no. Everyone cites the Infernal Devices series as, like, the best love triangle ever, and I completely agree. I think that the way that you just couldn't tell, you know, in other love triangles, it's been really, really obvious who the character, or just fairly obvious, who the character was going to end up with in the end. Like, you knew going into it, like, okay, yeah, she's gonna end up with that one. Like, I don't know, y'all reading The Selection, like, we all knew that was coming. Or I did. So I think that there's merit in some love triangles, and some of them are annoying and only served to, you know, insert themselves into mainstream YA media. So I think that a love triangle is a yes, as long as the love triangle feels natural between the characters, as opposed to something that is just sort of made up to get the book more hype or something like that. I have no idea how far in these dowels are supposed to be, and I'm really afraid that I'm not poking them in enough. So, you know, that's fun. No, fuck. Number 7, the most recent book that you just couldn't finish. I think that you might be able to say Ace for this by Angela Chen. I think that if I hadn't been reading that for an author interview, I might have been reading it for a lot longer, and I might not have finished it at all. But I think that because I finished that, we can't really count it. So I would have to say Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Because, like I've talked about 1,000,001 times, it's so good. It's such a good book. But, as you guys know, I haven't finished it. I've been reading it since mid-July and I still haven't finished it. Which says something because I usually finish books within a couple of days. That one's longer, so I could see myself taking like a week or two to read it, but you know, I hardly ever read books for longer than that. So yeah, I'm hoping that I will finish that one though. I don't think that one will be a forever, like, cannot finish. I think that I'll get there, but it'll take some time. Number 8, a book you're currently reading. I mean, a Priory. I'm always currently reading that one. But I am currently reading A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor by Hank Green. I wasn't talking about this at the end of the video, but since it's one of the questions, it's gonna be here. Well, I hope that's good enough because I don't think I can put them in anymore. And that book is amazing. It's an excellent book. I'm highly impressed. I read, where are my screwdrivers? One of those should work. I read An Absolutely Remarkable Thing back in 2019, in like April of 2019, which I think is hilarious because, you know, the main character's name is April. I read it in April. If only I read it April May because her name is literally April May. That would be really funny. Anywho, it's an amazing book. I am in love. It's amazing. It's so fascinating to see Hank Green. Why did I forget the word? Why did I forget all words? Write mysteries. Because, like, it's not like a traditional, like, whodunit mystery, which, like, those have their place, but this book definitely isn't that. But it's still so interesting the way that this mystery is written, because it's one of those books where you're not really going to know what happened or what's happening until you get to the end. Because that's just how Hank Green works. He doesn't let you know anything, unless apparently you're a very smart person and you guessed the plot before it started. Or guessed the ending, in which, if you are, I'm very impressed because I don't even know what the fuck is going on right now in the book, never mind what is going to happen in the future. But yeah, it's going really, really well. I love how much representation is in it, and I love, just in general, how amazing everything is. It's such a good book. It's such a good book. It's such a good book. Do I have to say it again? I will. It's such a good book. It's amazing. Okay, that's gonna go over there. Question number 9 is a book you most recently recommended to someone. Honestly, I think it's gonna be A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor because I recommended it to my mom when I was talking to her the other day. She is currently reading the ABC Mystery Series, I think is what it's called. Because it's all like, you know, A is for something, B is for something, but they're all mysteries. And she's really enjoying that. And I recommended An Absolutely Remarkable Thing to her because, well, A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor because I was reading it, but also An Absolutely Remarkable Thing because that's the first one. I recommended those to her because she's reading a mystery and I figured she would enjoy it. I think that's about right. The next question is the oldest book you've read based on publication date. And I don't want to take the time to actually look that up because I'm sure I could find an exact number for you, but I would say that's probably, I mean, I've read some Shakespeare for class, and that's like late 1600s, right? Because he died, didn't he live, something in his life was 1666, I think. So Shakespeare would definitely count. I've read quite a bit of like Jane Austen, once again for school, so that would count too because that's early 1800s, but I think Shakespeare's probably the closest. Although I might have read some French stuff that was from the 1400s. I don't know. I think that out of books that I read for fun as opposed to for school, the oldest book that I read for fun, like the oldest by publication date. What books have I read for fun that are old? I only really read like newer releases, so I honestly don't know. In like post-production, in editing, I'll go into GOODREADS and I'll find it and I'll put the cover on the screen for you so that I know. And then the next question is the newest book you've read by publication date. And probably The Death of Vivek Oji by Akwaeke Emezi. Did it first try. Nice job. editing me here to tell you that I was a fucking idiot in the past. Before I filmed this video, I had actually read 2 arcs that came out on September 15th. So obviously, I'm editing this video like almost 2 weeks after I filmed it because of Wi-Fi issues and stuff. So before filming this video, I did read CL by Sophie Labelle, which came out on September 15th, but I read as an arc, and Ace by Angela Chen, which I've talked about like a million and one times, and also came out on September 15th, which I also read as an arc. Somehow I just forgot that those 2 books existed. I guess it makes sense because I didn't love them that much, but yeah, go me, I guess. Oh, okay. More construction-y things are happening now. Yeah, I would say that it's probably The Death of Vivek Oji by Koike Emezi, which I read and talked about in my August wrap-up, so. Although I would like to read, like, Cinderella is Dead soon, which just came out recently, I think. I don't actually remember when it came out. Oh, Lost Book of the White, which is one of the most recent books that I bought. And then also, like, Cemetery Boys is another one. But I haven't read either of those. They're just books that are being released soon that I need to read. Number 12, favorite author. I've actually been putting a bit of thought into this recently because I feel like it's important to have a favorite author. And I think that out of all of the authors that I've ever read, the only one that, well, not the only one, but the first one that I think of that has, like, the most amount of books, who's never let me down, is probably Alice Oseman. I think that Rick Riordan is a very, very strong contender for this also, because Rick Riordan is like a god. He's just a god, and he's amazing, and I love him. But I think that Alice Oseman, I think, has to take the cake. Really hope I'm not breaking anything. I think I would have to say Alice Oseman for this one, just because she feels the most important to me. Also, yeah, also Rick Riordan, but I think Alice Oseman, because the one thing about Rick Riordan is that I don't think I would automatically buy his books. Like, I don't know how I feel about Trials of Apollo. I've only read one of them and I didn't really like it. And Alice Oseman, I haven't failed yet to like any of her books, and I don't think that I will. And as soon as I hear that she has a book coming out, I'm like, well, gotta buy it. Required now. It's basically required reading at this point. So, there's that also. See, that's not a good noise. I don't like that noise. Oh, I did it. That one went all the way in, so I want this one. Come on, bro. There we go. Yay! Oh, okay, the next question is buying or borrowing books. And I think that, in case you can't tell by my extensive collection, I would have to say buy. I know that, like, support your local library and all of that stuff, but for me, at the end of the day, if it's a book that I love, I'm buying it. I usually only use the library for school books or books that I really don't think I'm going to enjoy, but sometimes that I have to read, is my point there. Like, for example, The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett, I wanted to get that from the library because I didn't think that I was going to enjoy it, and so I didn't want to own it. But I couldn't get it from the library because it had 1,000,001 holds, and it was also just really good. So, you know, there's that too. And I am glad that I bought that one. But yeah, I would say in general, I'm a book buyer. A book that I dislike that everybody else seems to love. What was the book that I was literally just talking about that was like, I know that I didn't like it, but that everyone else loves it? Oh, you know what it is? Crier's War. Yep, I said that. I don't really like Crier's War. I think that it's fine. Like, it's a fine book. I'm not gonna get mad at it or anything, but I just didn't really get the hype, I guess. Yeah, I think saying that I didn't get the hype is probably the best way to put that. It just, like, didn't feel like it had a plot, which, as we know, is something that I would like to have in books. And, I don't know, everyone always pitches this as, like, an amazing sapphic book. And, like, I can see where it will be sapphic in future books, but I don't see where it's sapphic. I mean, okay, I see where it's sapphic now because the 2 main characters are women loving women. But the thing is, for me, is that, like, I don't know, I wanted something more to happen between them than what actually happened in the book. People are like, oh my god, it's slow burn, but like, that wasn't slow burn, nothing happened. I feel like those two are two different things. Yeah, I guess I just didn't really get the chemistry or the reason that people like this book in general. Sorry, this is the most intensive part. I have to make sure I don't break anything. This is the part where if I was going to break something, this is where it would happen. What the hell? Come on, bro. Work with me here. Haha, I'm back. Oh, the next question is bookmarks or dog ears. Without fail, bookmarks. I love bookmarks. I actually make my own bookmarks. The Etsy shop link is in the description if you want to go support me. Oh my god, you guys, I didn't break it. Woohoo, go me! Anyway, yeah, bookmarks for the win. I don't write in my books. I have like clear sticky notes and I mostly use tabs, but I do not, yeah, no. Ooh, number 16, a book that you can always reread. I think that, this is an interesting one because I'm not sure, what's a book that I've reread before that I loved? I mean, I recently reread Loveless, and that was really fun. I think that Upside Down will become that for me. I haven't reread it since I read it, but when I did read it, it was amazing. So good. So quality. I loved it so much. And I think that it will become a comfort read in the future. But like I haven't reread it, so I can't actually say that. But I think that, yeah. Also like the Heartstopper graphic novels, I reread those all the time. But those aren't books, they're just, I mean they are books, but they're graphic novels so they don't take as much time to read as regular books do. I mean that's fine, that's not a problem. It just makes it feel easier for me to reread than a regular book would. Next, I'm gonna need a hammer, I don't have one of those. Can you read while hearing music? I can. I'm actually low-key proud of this. Yeah, I'm just gonna be out of the frame for a little bit here, guys. Sorry about that, but I'll keep talking. It's actually easier for me if it's a music that I know really well. Sometimes I listen to instrumental music to help me concentrate when I read a book. And, I mean, I can just listen to regular music that I would normally listen to when I read a book too. Which way does this go in? That way, okay. Yeah, I think that's all I was going to say about it. I can listen to music while reading a book. Actually pretty easily. People always get really surprised at me. And sometimes sometimes it can be annoying if it's a song I want to sing along to. But for the majority, I can listen to music when I read. Boom! Oh, almost there. Hold on. You guys, I'm so close to both finishing the tag and the bookshelf. I'm doing an excellent job. I'm very proud of myself. Oh, did I put this in the wrong way? Haha, shit. Never mind, I'm not close, because apparently I'm doing it wrong. Oh, new question. Oh, the next question is one point of view or multiple point of views. I don't really mind, honestly. I think that however the author wants to do it is the best way, if that makes sense. I love books like Loveless and Solitaire and Radio Silence, and I just literally named Alice Oseman books, but like I love books like that, or like Felix Ever After. What other books are like that? Mostly contemporaries are usually like that, I think. But I also love An Ember in the Ashes and what's it called? I just saw it. The Starless Sea is another one that I really love. I feel like those are just as important, and I honestly couldn't tell you what my favorite perspective is. I need to see what the question was and if I answered it. Oh, one sitting or over multiple days. I already answered that. We all good, fam.
I did answer that question, unless, I don't know. Basically, I don't remember what my brain was doing. I prefer reading books in one sitting because I think that I remember them better, I usually enjoy them more, and I just think it's fun to sit in one place for 3 hours and then look up and be like, oh shoot, it's been 3 hours, but also have finished a book, or approximately, you know? And the more amount of sittings it takes me to read a book, the more frustrated I get with said book, which you guys will see when I talk about Lost Blue or White in my September wrap-up. I don't know why I was stupid and was like, oh, I already answered this question. Nice try, buddy. You didn't.
And then the last question is, who do you tag? And honestly, I'm not great at tagging. I always just sort of say, like, if you're a YouTuber and you're watching this video, which is unlikely, but if you are, you're tagged. Boom, there you go. Ow, fuck, my fingers. This probably looks really dumb. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go for a sec. I will talk to you when I finish putting everything together, because this takes some concentration. Alright, so as you can see, I finished with the shelf. I'm very proud of myself. I didn't break anything. Knock on wood that I didn't break anything. And I figured out a good measurement where, like, my tall hardcovers will still fit, but, like, I can also stack and stuff. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna put my books on the shelf now, but I figured I should end this video here, because I'll probably do, like, a TBR cart / bookshelf tour in the future. Like I said, if you're a booktuber and you're watching this and you want to do this tag, boom, you've been tagged. You're welcome. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I'm currently reading A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor. I'm really hoping that the next video that you see from me won't have me reading that book, but you never know. I think I'll finish it though. I'm pretty close. And I guess I should ask a question. How have your IKEA furniture building endeavors in the past gone? Have you ever had a bad incident with IKEA building furniture? I don't think I have. Again, knock on wood, I don't think I have. I usually do pretty okay. Sometimes I mess up a little, but you know, it's fine. We'd be fine. So, yeah. I will see you guys next time. Bye!